This is what he said to me. He goes, "I've got a funny feeling about today, Kouta."
Going back to that, we've had a few people want us to ask you, what was your mindset going into that last quarter of the 99 preliminary final? It's one of those games I go back basically on a monthly basis and go and watch that last quarter as a Carlton fan just to relive something.
Yeah, I know. I do occasionally too, don't worry. So, right, I think just go back there and just pretend you're still him. You know, it was an incredible day. I'll never forget John Elliott coming into the change rooms before the game, and he'd say, this is what he said to me, he goes, "I've got a funny feeling about today, Kouta." And I'm telling you, I loved Big Jack. He was the greatest president by far. He made that place. I felt like we were family then. My parents felt the same way, my brothers. What an environment he created through the culture that he built there, that people, tarnished his name afterwards, which was a disgrace, in my opinion, because he gave his heart and soul to that football club. But when he said that, whenever he touched me before a game and go, "Your day today, Kouta," I loved him that much that if he said, "Run through that brick wall, Kouta," I would have done it for him. And that's the sort of guy that he was. We won't talk about the president that came afterwards, right, because it's probably not the right place. But anyway, completely different. But when he said that on that prelim final day, I don't know. In me, I started thinking of the culture of that footy club and the past wins in finals that they should not have won and they won. And my head started going, could he know something I don't know? You know what I mean? Can he see something I can't see at this point in time? So that excited me. I don't know if it had the same effect to the other players that I can't speak on. But, by halftime, we're walking into that in our change room. Now, remember, we lost to Essendon the first time by 40-odd points. That second time, the last time we played them, we lost by 70-something points. And David Parkin said, we are a B-grade team. And all of a sudden, we're coming against the unbeatables Essendon this prelim final. So we go in half-time going, we could be in a grand final. Essendon do what they should have done all day, and they turned it on in the third quarter, kicking 7-7. There I am at three-quarter time going to the huddle, and people are saying, "What did Parko say to you?" And Silvani took you aside. What did he say? I have no idea. This is what I do remember, is that I was standing there going, "Please just put me in the midfield." I always loved the midfield. I always had to wait for my time. They would just very rarely put me in there where I know I could play my best footy, but the club needed me centre half back, or they needed me a full forward, or the wing, or whatever. I just did what I had to do. And so I was like, "Please put me in the midfield." And they didn't pick me until in the last quarter. Essendon must have kicked one or two. I'm not sure. And then they came to me and just said, "Kouta, you're in the midfield." I reckon that was around about the time that Justin Murphy had that ball in the half-forward flank where I started running down. And I remember when he had that ball, I was thinking, just hold, just wait. And I reckon he could see me, and I was sprinting as hard as I could.
You could see you across the other side of the ground, sprinting up the ground. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that must have been the time that they said you're in the middle, Kouta. And I remember sprinting. Like, when Murph kicked that ball, I was sprinting as hard as I could then. And then it came in, bang, and that was the mark. And so I had a great feel that day, and we do that sometimes as players too. And I felt almost like I was in the cage down at the in defence, because I was like, there was more to give, but I was stuck because of the coach's instructions to be down in defence. And so when I was let loose in the midfield, man, it was game on. And
you still had a bit left in the tank.
Yeah, I had, correct, coach, and I could have. The way I was feeling, I probably could run another 4 quarters out. You know what I mean? So that's fantastic. How good you feel some days.